There's a moment before the first brush stroke on a brand new fresh white canvas, that quiet space where creativity breathes, but it's just waiting to take shape. I used to think that my art practice lived only there on the canvas, in the colors, in the movement of my brush. But I realized that it extends far beyond that. Filming used to feel like something separate, something extra, but now it's another brush in my hand, another way to capture light, to frame a story, to play with movement and rhythm. Editing is where everything comes together, like layers of glaze on a painting. It's subtle and deliberate, but every decision over time shapes the final piece. It's all composition, it's all balance. I used to rush through making the videos, get them done, get them out into the world. But then something changed. I saw the parallels between painting and video, how they both tell a story, not just to the subject, but of the artist, the process, the choices, the feelings behind the mood the piece was created in. It all takes shape together to form a whole. And once I let myself really lean into that, I stopped treating filming and recording my process as something that sat beside my art practice. And I intentionally started treating it like a practice of its own, like art, and just like painting. It's something I don't think I'll ever stop growing in, and hopefully I will never stop exploring it. But if I wasn't engaged in the filmmaking process in the same way, if I just shared the final painting without the journey, I think that I'd be leaving a huge part of the puzzle on the table, a huge part of the story, because now the collectors and viewers get more than just the finished piece. They get the story, the moments of doubt, the shifts in direction, the small decisions that bring a painting to life. They see the creation of the piece, and then they see the piece itself, and that changes everything. There's a different kind of connection when someone sees the process, when someone sees the blank canvas and the early rough stages, the parts where it feels like it might never come together. They see the hesitation and the experimentation, the breakthroughs, and they see that this art isn't an effortless, magical thing. It's built layer by layer, moment by moment, with patience and practice. And I think that that makes it more meaningful, not just to me, but to the person watching the video, and then also to the person viewing my painting or drawing. When you only see the final painting, it's easy to admire it from a distance. But when you follow the process, the ups and downs, the choices and adjustments, you experience it differently. It becomes something that you feel a connection with in a different way, rather than just a painting being something you just see. And that's what I love about sharing my work this way. It makes the experience more whole, more resolved. It gives a sense of completion that goes beyond just showing the finished painting. And it's also why I feel so strongly about how I share it. I've talked about monetization before, and this is where it all kind of connects for me. YouTube isn't just a way to put my work out into the world. It's a way to hopefully build something sustainable, to create a structure where my art, my videos, and my business can all support each other, because making art is one thing. Making a living from art is another thing entirely. And for so long, artists have had to rely on just selling finished paintings, waiting for the right buyer or the gallery representation, and navigating this unpredictable market. And while that's still a huge part of it, platforms like YouTube have really opened up new possibilities. I can share the entire creative experience now, and that experience itself has huge value. It's not just about selling a painting. It's about inviting people into the process, building a connection that goes deeper than a single transaction. And through YouTube, the connection is what allows me to hopefully turn my art practice into something sustainable. And hopefully I can do this through ad revenue, sponsorships maybe, digital products, as well as selling my work. But it all starts with sharing the journey, not just the result. This shift in perspective has completely changed the way I see my creative career. And instead of feeling like I need to constantly be chasing sales or producing more artwork just to try and keep up, I can focus on what I truly love, which is the act of creating. And because in the end, that's what art really is. It's not just a product, it's a process, a story, an experience. And when I share that, I'm not just making art, I'm building something bigger, a creative life, a sustainable future, a way to do what I love in a way that actually works for me, and that's, to me, that's the most fulfilling part of all. Let's talk about some analytics. Now, this week has felt pretty slow for me for some reason. The YouTube shorts don't seem to be getting as many views as they were lately for some reason. I'm hoping they'll bounce back soon. So let's check out the analytics for this week. So the total subscribers I now have are 251, and I have gotten 8 new subscribers this week. The total views in the last 7 days were 1,456, and the total watch hours are 16.2, which is actually 50% up from last week. So I'm really stoked about that. Even though it felt like a slower week, clearly it wasn't. So when a week feels slow, the bigger picture tells a different story. Growth isn't always obvious in the moment, but looking at the numbers, it's clear momentum is still building. And this is exactly why I love sharing my journey here on YouTube. It's not just about the final paintings or even just about the views. It's about documenting the process, tracking progress, and staying connected to the bigger vision. Some weeks will feel slower, some videos might not perform as well, but over time, every step forward adds up. I'm excited to keep pushing forwards and seeing where this journey takes me, because in the end, this isn't just about YouTube or art or business. It's about creating a life that is aligned with what I love. Thank you so much for being here and following along. I appreciate every one of you. Let's see what next week brings, and I'll chat to you then. Bye.